Can foreign key be null or duplicate? Foreign key is something that refers to the primary key of the parent table. It is present in a child table, whereas it refers to the primary key which is present in the parent table. Here we can see in parent table we have primary key and in child table we have foreign key. And foreign key is referencing the primary key. This creates a constraint and it imposes the referential integrity between the two tables. Now, if we look at the data set, we can see that data in the foreign key refers to the data in the primary key. Hence, we can see primary key has values like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, whereas foreign key has values 2, 2, 3, 5, 1, and so on. The values in the foreign key has to be in correspondence with the primary key. They can be duplicate. Yes, foreign key values can be duplicate. Next question is whether it can be null or not. Before that, we should think from definitive point of view whether it should be null or not. If we look at the definition of primary key and foreign key, ideally it should not be null. Why? Because foreign key has to refer the primary key and primary key in itself cannot be null. But this is an idealistic scenario. In realistic scenario, in the SQL and in the databases, the situation is different. Let's understand in what situations it can or should it be allowed to be null. So let's take an example of an employee table which has columns employee ID and name. Here the employee table is the parent table which has employee ID as the primary key. We have a child table called manager table which has columns manager ID and manager name. Manager ID is referencing the primary key in the parent table and manager ID in itself is a foreign key. Now here we can see manager ID has values 1 and 2 which is in correspondence with the values of employee ID that is 1, 2 and 3. Let's say 1, 2 have the managers, but let's say employee ID 3 that is Charlie doesn't have any manager at all. Let's say he is the CEO. So in that case, a null can or shall be allowed to exist in the foreign key. Hence, the answer is yes, the foreign key can be null. It can be null in our databases. What happens when a foreign key is null? So when a foreign key is null, in that particular case, the database does not enforce the referential integrity for those null values. Secondly, it simply means that for null values, there is no relationship or there is unknown reference in the parent table. And thirdly, if we try to insert that null value in the foreign key, we will not get any violation. So that is what we needed to understand about foreign key being null or duplicate.